Someone better play Ditto.
Oh my god. Freaking Ditto! Oh goodness, hearing double audio.
Yeah.
We'll turn the stream audio off then, you dopes.
I did, I wasn't expecting it to pop up all of a sudden.
World War Z now available on the PS4 and Xbox One.
Oh, it's just Left 4 Dead with no personality.
It's Left 4 Dead with classes.
Mood.
If you want
I
better
would
Left 4
like-
Dead, you play Vermintide.
I would really like to get my hands on Days Gone. Because it's pretty reminiscent of Last of Us from what I've seen, and I was an avid Last of Us player, so...
Ah.
I can hardly wait for the second one to come out.
I am so hyped for the second one. I bought the remastered for PS4 just to play it through again before the second one.
Yeah, I really gotta get my hands
I got
on
the
first one
remastered.
again.
I got the remastered with my PS4, so...
What are you guys talking about?
Last of Us.
Oh. Still haven't played that one.
They kept Ellie queer from the DLC, right? Or did they scratch that because of people being angry about queer characters?
I know that the second one, their preview at E3 last year was her kissing a girl. So...
Okay, cool, because I thought she like kissed a girl in the DLC or from the first one or something, but I know that a lot of people were angry that she was suddenly queer, so I didn't know if they were gonna scrap it or not from the second one.
Cause like they totally made it seem like she was one or the other in the first place.
Yeah, she's a pretty androgynous character anyways.
I mean, what did it matter? She spent like the entirety of 2 months surviving on her fucking own with just a guy with fucking daughter issues.
It was a lot longer than 2 months. It was like a little over a year. The
Well,
course of the first game.
She was
is this
queer as
technically
fuck in the
spoilers?
E3 trailer.
Like,
Well, I just Ellie's
you
one of
don't
my
really have
favorite
time to express whether you're queer or not in that kind of situation.
Yeah, good point.
What are you gonna do? Kiss a female zombie?
That's awkward.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Tina Belcher would.
Dude, I would totally kiss one of the clickers. Just say it.
It went super quiet.
Sorry, my dog like knocked a bunch of shit over.
I know, it's just after what Kato said, it just went completely quiet in the room.
Also, on the subject of paying DMs, for some reason I just had a thought of Daga just like dancing with like a t-shirt made entirely of sequins, and then he just throws it off.
Can he do that to like Gangnam style dancing?
Yeah,
With his sequin?
just has $sign glasses.
Oh yeah, Sparkle Daddy making that cheddar.
Oh god.
That was the reaction I was hoping for.
Well, you got it.
So how much is Rosalind royally boned tonight?
It depends. It depends.
Don't you depend me. I will find a way to throw a hammer at the DM. doo doo.
So, boo.
Now,
Eyes in Blue is the one always dealing max damage and saving our asses.
I seem to remember Blue missing a lot.
No, that's only when she like Eldritch blasts and stuff like that. When she shatters hard.
well, yeah, because Shatter can't miss.
Nope.
Zim.
Yes.
Do you remember Fire Emblem Awakening?
Yes.
Do you remember that character? I think his name was Kellum. The stealthy one. The stealthy giant knight guy.
Oh, yes. You know, the guy in giant armor that somehow people do not see.
Oh, I gotta do that. Because I wanted to change my my subscriber noise to the crit sound effect whenever a crit happens. I gotta do it later though, because it's gonna be awkward hearing it during stream. Yeah.
That's what you really need your subscriber noise to be.
No, don't do it. It is very jarring, my sub thing. It's only used in critical moments, which I need to
Zim
change.
is attempting to make it happen and it's not working.
The command that he made himself.
Yo.
I have like 80 different sounds on here, so excuse me if I don't remember all of them.
I still get my my Patreon.
There you go.
What about your Patreon?
As a Patreon patron, it said I get a custom sound for the chat or something.
Send it to me. Less than 7 seconds. MP3
Yeah,
format.
no, I don't know what I want. I'll get back to you.
Well, I can't really give you a custom sound if you don't know what you want.
I'll figure it out.
Bird brain deafened himself.
We need Old Mo Shinderu.
Oh my goodness, no.
Edward, no. Daddy.
Why is him?
Hurt, Daddy.
I'm sorry. Even with all our power, we can't do anything to change you back.
I keep forgetting how long that is.
I know, it's really long.
Can we play?
Zim, that one, it seems longer than 7 seconds. You might have to take it down.
Oh no, that's just the limit for you guys.
And you are technically using 5 Z coins to use it.
Mm-hmm.
I've got an infinite amount. The hell
I'm
is
meaning
that
in
one?
general.
He actually just takes his C coins from everyone else's bank.
There we go.
Whenever we get a deposit of Z coins into our bank, there's a tiny program that runs in the background that shaves off the fractions that we get and pulls it all into one account for Zim.
I mean, it also helps he never has to really use it.
Can't use them.
Like, technically, you're barred from every single usage of it.
Exactly. All right. Sparkle Daddy.
Hello.
Hello.
That wasn't me this time.
Hello, everyone. And welcome to the stream. I am Rosim. And this is Iron Fang Dungeons and Dragons. Yes.
I think I hear the sound of your account going.
Last time there were giant spiders.
Oh my god. Zim, please.
The Sparkle Daddy threw me into a horrendous living nightmare. And he denied me booze. How am I supposed to function without my alcohol? How am I supposed to live?
Why are you reading this as the ghost from Christmas Past?
I suppose I will turn this over to
Daga, please
the
stop talking.
horrendous thing known as a Sparkle Daddy.
All right. Thank you for that oh so wonderful and insightful recap.
If you can
The
call it that.
Sparkle Daddy will have to sleep with both eyes open, or else I might extract vengeance.
I'm crying. Thank you.
I'll keep that in mind. Thank you. All right, so yeah, we left off in a great, like, still comfortable looking circular room within the mansion located in Starshore on the southern edge, on the southeastern edge of. And last time, as Kalani so wonderfully said for us, 2 of your group members were forced into waking nightmares by Abe, the raccoon sleeper, who is trying to train you a little bit. Last time it was Kalani and Kleek who were sent into these waking nightmares, and they both came out of them with kind of cool new items. Kalani, you came out with a pair of boots that you can summon,
Called.
and they are called the Astral Stompies.
Yes.
That is a good name.
And Kleek, you came out of your waking nightmare with a spear called the Astral Pokey.
That is also an excellent name.
You know, Pokey's
We're
the
not
name of
mocking you.
Pokey's the name of that cactus creature in Mario.
Oh. All right. So as Kleek comes out of his waking nightmare, he's holding the spear for a moment, and then it slowly starts to dissipate, just as Kalani's boots had after he had come out of the night. And Abe then looks to Rembrandt, and he points at the cat and says, "Now you, step forward, please."
Question.
No, you.
I believe they shooed Kalani away to go find the booze, correct?
Yeah, weren't we taking a day?
Yeah, we were taking a break. And
Were you?
yeah,
I'm not so much sure as
You
a break.
literally told us that we had to go and relax and stuff.
Rest.
Oh, that's right. That's how I ended it. So it wouldn't end so abruptly. My apologies. All right, so yeah,
You're
you all
not a
are...
bird.
What? I said my apologies.
You're not a bird. You're not allowed to fumble your papers.
It's an inside joke from the other D&D group.
Oh,
The Tuesday
okay.
DM is a bird, and he keeps fumbling his notes constantly.
Well, I don't do it that way. All right, so yeah, you all were sent to this very comfortable room full of very nice pillows and soft blankets and candles, and there's even like a hookah or two within the room. And
There's
you
a
all are
hooker?
take a hookah.
That's what I heard too.
A hookah.
Oh my god.
And yeah, so you all are just taking this rest. And you've been in there for like maybe 6 or so hours. And yeah, I guess Kalani is off trying to find booze or something.
Rosalind's response.
You
to all
said
this
he
is
found
wonderful.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
sure did.
cannot take it back.
Fine,
Hey,
he
County's
found
the
it.
GM.
I'm his
The
boss.
whole conversation last week was how much booze there was.
I do not remember that conversation.
Can't let Kalani go sober. He goes mental.
I mean, he did go into it sober.
Yeah, you did.
Last time he was properly sober, he tried tying me up.
Great, so yeah, Kalani found the booze. Y'all have been chilling in this comfy room full of pillows and such for the last 6 hours. Did you
Jago,
all-
would you
Yeah.
say like maybe hour like 4 or something? Do you think that Rembrandt could take Azurite aside and ask if we could find Abe to do ours right now away from the group?
Yeah.
And I'll ask Azurite if she's okay with that.
It'll be quite easier to do it that way for.
Wow, you backstabbing.
Alright, so if you all leave the room to find Abe, he's back in the first room that you all were in, and he's once again just reading with a pipe hanging out of his mouth.
Kalani will go back to the room with all the stuff that we were doing. Karen, you know what? He just picked up the whole liquor cabinet.
Alright, so you have like, I'm gonna say 3 bottles of pretty old wine, red wine, and a small barrel of ale.
That was all that was in the liquor cabinet?
Uh-huh.
That particular one, yeah.
I want more.
Alright, well, not now.
So honest. All right, well, shut up, man.
So yeah, Kalani just grabbed liquor then.
Yep, he grabbed his liquor, came back to the room, ready to watch
The room where
others.
everyone was chilling, or the training room?
Chilling.
Yo, Kalani, you gonna share some of that?
He will look very sadly at his measly supply of alcohol. Then look over at the cat. Then back at his alcohol.
The cat makes the sad kitten eyes.
Okay.
Her sad kitten eyes are
Kalani's
good.
the
So.
best.
He will hand over a bottle of wine.
Kato toasts to Kalani and takes a swig.
I guess you only have 2 bottles of wine now and a small barrel.
Oh.
So,
Correct.
real quick, Rembrandt and Azurite left the chill room to go find Abe.
Yes.
Yes.
Alright, so yeah, as I said, that he's back in the room that Garrigus originally brought all of you all to, and he's once again poring over a book with his pipe in his mouth. And as you enter, he doesn't take immediate notice to you. You see, like, his ears twitch a bit, but he's very heavily buried into his book and he takes a puff of his pipe and smoke just slowly trails out of his nostrils as he doesn't even bother opening his mouth to blow it out.
Rembrandt would approach Abe and say, Abe, I know you're not really fond that you have to teach us all this stuff, but the faster we get this over with and the faster we're out of your hair and the faster you can get back to researching. So how about you finish the training for me and Azurite really quick instead of us resting?
He stays silent for a long moment, but then he slowly turns to look at you, Rembrandt. He says, "You're right, I'm not fond of having to share our secrets with people who aren't even sleepers, but since you're ready to go, I guess let's just go ahead and do it." He folds his book up, taps out his pipe, sets it on the table that he was sitting in front of, and leaves the room and heads back to the training room. Hopefully with the two of you following, but he doesn't even look back to check and see if you are following.
Of course.
Yeah, we are.
Hey,
So
Clink,
as
Hey, how's it going?
where did Rembrandt go?
What do I look like, their keeper?
You were in the room with me this whole time. Kalani was
I take a look
Kalani was
around.
out. Kalani was out getting booze. Both him and Kato are getting drunk. You're the only one I can talk to.
Well, it sucks to suck, doesn't it?
Listen, I am sipping on wine. That does not mean I'm getting drunk.
I actually don't know. I don't know where they went. I look around. Do I see them at all?
Kalani would be getting drunk, except there's not enough there for him to get drunk off of.
And Cleek, no, you wouldn't see them. Rembrandt and Azurite both left the room like a little while ago, because they left at around hour 4, and we're sitting at like around hour 6 or something right now for you all being in the room.
No, I have no idea where Rembrandt would be.
I'm gonna go look for them.
Yeah, I guess I'll join you.
Adventure.
Adventure. I'm gonna bop him on the head with my staff.
Alright, so going back to Abe, Azurite, and Rembrandt, Abe leads you two into the training room, and it's pretty big. It's a circular stone room, and just like all of the other rooms in this mansion, it's just full of really comfortable looking pillows and cushions and such. Abe stops, turns around, and just points at Rembrandt and says, "You, let's do this."
Rembrandt would look at Azurite to see if she's okay with that.
Go ahead, Rembrandt.
All right. I'll take a deep breath and step forward.
Alright, as you take a deep breath, Abe kind of smirks And without giving you really any time to react to the smirk, he reaches out and, just as all the others, touches his forefinger and middle finger to the center of your brow. And suddenly everything around you goes dark. And you know that you are now in your own waking nightmare.
Do I have any of my equipment on me?
No, you don't.
I suppose I'll look around, see what I can see.
You can only see blackness, but you do start to hear the slight jingle of chains.
Can I see which direction it's coming from?
No, it seems like it's coming from all around you. You cannot pick out a direction that it's coming from.
He might start taking a jogging pace now, in any direction, and not one particular.
So as soon as he starts to
Stop that.
God damn it.
As soon as he steps forward and tries to move, he realizes that he can't. And the sound of jingling chains, he realizes, is now coming from his feet and his wrists. And if you were to look down, you will see that there are chained shackles connecting your wrists and connecting your ankles.
Are there like keyholes on these shackles?
No, there are not.
Jesus Christ. I guess Rembrandt would just start struggling against them.
The more you struggle against them, the tighter they seem to get. And as you continue to struggle, you then start to hear a slight rumbling. And this rumbling gets louder and louder, and you can start to feel it. It feels as if the earth beneath your feet is moving. And then suddenly, sections of wall start to pop up around you, and each section pops up from the ground and connects itself to the other section, and eventually there's just a circle of wall around you. It's very, very high, and other than the wall and the shackles, again, all you can see is darkness.
Rembrandt's probably gonna take a deep breath and try to reason with himself and saying this is probably the trial that he's talking about, and see if he can find try to stay calm and see if there's something he can do about this.
So through the silence that has now fallen after the eruption of the walls around you, you then start to hear slight whispers. And they're not really echoing. You hear the whispers in your head. And they're whispering of duty. They're whispering of family. They're whispering of loyalty and of tradition. And they start to get a little bit louder. And the voices get a little bit more rough and a little more aggressive as each moment passes.
Can I wait to see until I can start making out what they're saying, like clearly?
You can start to recognize the voices. And you recognize them as people you definitely know. People from your past. And as they get louder, as they get more aggressive, they start screaming of family sacrifice. They start screaming of traditions and needing to hold to those traditions. And as they start screaming, the shackles around your wrists and ankles start to get even tighter. the chains that connect the shackles themselves start to actually shorten in length, bringing your limbs closer and closer together.
I think Rembrandt's going to try and laugh about this to himself and say out loud to these whispers, "You've given me all the tools I need for my own freedom. Everything that you're doing right now is only going to fuel me to make me stronger. Everything you've taught me, everything I've learned, it only makes me stronger."
As you speak, you start to hear another rumbling, mixed in with the continued screaming whispers of the voices of your family from your past. And this rumbling you start to notice is coming from those sections of wall around you. And as you speak, the more you say, cracks start to form within the walls. And you start to feel the shackles around your ankles loosening just a little bit.
I think I want to try to tug at the chains and think to myself, with everything that they've taught me, I can pretty much adapt to whatever situation you throw at me. And there really is no reason to try and worry too much.
So the cracks in the walls start to get bigger and spider along the sections of wall even more. They even start to crumble, and then you feel the shackles around your ankles break. They fall off of your ankles, however, the shackles around your wrists are still there. But they don't feel as tight. In fact, now they start to feel a little bit comfortable. And they even start to shimmer a little bit.
Kinky.
I think Rembrandt would probably stand now and say, I probably know what I need to do soon enough. I probably can't keep running from this, but we will probably have to meet again, won't we? As he'll look at the walls again for keep on looking at the walls.
The walls continue to crack and crumble before you, and again, the shackles around your wrists, they feel even more comfortable now. The shimmering is getting a little bit brighter. It's starting to be kind of reminiscent of all of the astral beasts that you've seen before. And as you say, I guess we'll have to meet again at some point, those whispers, those angry whispers, get even louder again, and they seem to laugh. They laugh directly in your mind. And another moment later, everything goes silent. The walls crumble around you, and the darkness starts to dissipate. And once again, you are standing in the training room with Azurite and Abe there, and around your wrists are still these shimmering shackles. And after another moment, they dissipate as well.
I think Rembrandt would probably collapse, catching himself on his back, and probably begin to nervously sweat after all that. Keeping silent after facing that.
Rembrandt. Rembrandt.
So real quick, Rem, I don't have a name for them just yet.
Okay.
But as an item, you can
Shackles of
put
freedom?
No, it's gonna be more goofier than
I
that.
love
But
it.
you can put in gauntlet shackles,
Okay.
like gauntlet, as in you know what I mean, bit of armor.
Yeah.
harrowing chains.
So as Abe sees you collapse to the ground after you come out of your nightmare, he smirks, and this time the smirk seems a little bit more genuine than any of the other ones you've seen him give so far. He even walks over to you and holds out a hand and says, "Well done."
He'll take it and stand, and he'll say, "That's not the last time we're gonna have to do that, is it?"
I mean, it's the last time I'm gonna put you through anything, but if you really want to help out with what's been going on because of Nessarian, then yes, you're going to have to do that a few more times.
Frustrated squirrel noises.
Yeah. Could I roll performance to try and make my own frustrated squirrel noises?
Boots the door open.
Moves the door open.
All right.
If you boop the
So-
abyss boops back.
After Abe helps Rembrandt up, he turns to Azurite and says, "All right, I guess it's your turn now."
Yes, it is. She would proceed to move over and get into a kneeling, sitting on her knees.
So
That
kneeling.
way, so she's not standing while she's doing this.
Alright. So Abe is going to move over to Azurite, kind of cock his head about in question about why she's choosing to kneel the way she is, but he reaches out his hand anyways, puts his fingers to your brow, and darkness encompasses you.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Pretty much.
Darkness imprisoning me.
Open your heart.
I was about to make
Spit.
that joke.
Azurite is going to take controlled breathing while she waits for things to happen.
So the longer you sit there, the heavier the darkness actually seems to feel. And it feels like it's kind of starting to push down on you a little bit.
She will attempt to push back at.
So tell me how you do that.
Due to her sitting currently, it would be her attempting to stand back up.
So as you stand back up, you do feel a little bit wobbly, but you're able to catch yourself kind of easily. And when you do, in front of you, you suddenly see a few faceless figures.
What are these figures doing?
They're just standing there right now, looking at you. They don't have faces,
Ah.
but you can feel that they're looking at you.
Do I see myself in any particular room?
What was that?
Do I see myself in any particular room?
No, you're just in like darkness.
All right. She will make her way towards faceless figures.
1 second, sorry, coughing fit. So as you make your way towards these faceless figures, you start to notice some resemblances in these figures. They start to resemble people that you care a lot about. And I'll even say that one of them starts to resemble Rembrandt a little bit.
All right. We'll continue walking towards them.
As you get a little bit closer, you start to truly feel that these figures are those people. It no longer really seems like you're in this waking nightmare. Your mind has started to see these faceless figures as who they are presenting themselves as. So you start to believe that Rembrandt is standing in front of you, that your parents are standing in front of you. And I put that inflection on parents because I can't remember
that would be
via your
accurate.
backstory. Wouldn't be accurate? Okay, so give me...
No, it would be accurate.
Would be accurate? Okay, cool. So you can see your parents and Rembrandt standing in front of you now. They're no longer faceless figures, and you start to kind of believe that they're actually there.
I will walk up to, or Azrael will walk up to her parent.
They, as you approach them, they greet you, and they're so happy to see you. And your mom even reaches her hand out and goes to put it on your shoulder with a smile. But as soon as you feel her hand touch you, it starts to decompose. And slowly, this decomposition starts to overtake your mother's body. And she quite literally disintegrates into a pile of flesh and bone before your eyes.
As the decomposition is happening, she would be bringing her hand out and grasping at nothing at that point because there's nothing there. She would look to the other two.
They also have rather large smiles on their face. They're also very happy to see you, but as you look at them, both Rembrandt and your father's faces start to slowly decompose. And just like with your mother, the decomposition takes over their entire body until they too fall into a pile of flesh and bones at your feet.
That's right.
She is going to look between the three, unsure what to do at this point. And get to her knees again with her hands on her head as if trying to.
So you do hear a little bit of a voice pop through and into your mind, and it's the voice of Abe. And he says, "Don't Don't crumble to this. Use it. Use it, Azurite.
She would reply, "You say to use it. Yet this is something that is quite the hardest of things to do so with."
You hear Abe kind of sigh. And he says, I don't know what you're seeing. I don't know what you're experiencing. I don't know what you have experienced. But I do know that it's possible to use your fear of anything for your own power.
This music is not helping the mood.
No, it's not, man. I was like trying to not go so deep and depressing as it was the handful of sessions before, and then this music happened.
Listen to my story.
I mean, if you don't want to be depressed, just think of the fact that Rosalind right now is just screaming Rembrandt and kicking down doors. She's
Here,
gonna
does this
start
help?
busting through walls.
Azrate's going to be trying to calm herself down
Is this better
and
music?
then try to collect her thoughts. It's better.
So as you sit there and start to try and collect your thoughts, you see a few more faceless figures pop up around you, and once again, they take on the resemblances of people that you care so much about. And they start to move towards you. And with every step that they take, they too start to slowly decompose before you.
She's going to ignore them for the time being and attempt to wield the magic around her to assist her.
When you say wield the magic around you, can you elaborate on that a little bit?
I guess in a way at this point it would be more of the dream magic of whatever is happening. But what she's trying to do is try to force it to her will.
So you do start to feel the darkness around you start to, I don't know if I'm going to use this word correctly, undulate? Yeah, like move around
I
you.
think that
undulate.
is the proper wording.
Okay, yeah. So you start to feel the darkness around you undulate, and it gets a little bit stronger every moment that passes. But then you hear Abe's voice crack through into your mind again, and he says, "No, don't do that. I don't know what you're doing, but that is not the purpose of this. Use your own power. Don't use mine." And you can kind of hear him trail off in questions to himself before his voice leaves your mind again.
Rembrandt!
So, Rosalind, as you continue to move through the hallway and kick down these doors, eventually you kick down one of them and you see the Darcy. She is. You actually just kicked down her personal quarters door, and she's just kind of standing there with a pen and a quill and parchment in her hand, and she drops them, stares at you for a moment, and with a wave of her hand, the door shuts back in your face.
Well, that was rude. Okay, continue fighting Rembrandt.
And after you say that was rude, as you walk away, you can hear Darcy quite clearly shout, "Kicking down my fucking door was rude."
We've got a question for you, Dogga, in the chat.
Oh, yeah?
Eisen's got a question.
I don't have the chat open. What's the question?
Eisen wants to know
Oh, never mind.
how many influence points to change Rembrandt's fear weapon into a picket sign that says recovering prostitute.
Oh my god.
That would be a lot of influence points. No.
Okay.
Because
so
that's
I guess a
hilarious,
major.
and I dig it, but...
It would take at least 3 majors.
I don't know about
You
three
mean
of
3
them.
game breaking?
What was that?
We'll say
You mean
one
game
game
breaking?
breaking. I think that would be fair.
But my shackles are metaphorical.
Yeah, I worked real hard on designing those, actually.
I actually really like it.
I mean, you can just say no at the end of the day. It's at your discretion, Duggan.
Okay, Eisen, if you want to propose something else game-breaking at another time, I will totally take that. But the shackles, I'm really proud of designing those, so I gotta keep those.
I actually really like it.
But I will totally take your suggestion for something game-breaking at a later date. So, Azure, back to you. Actually, you started to essentially manipulate the darkness that was around you, and Abe came into your mind and said, "No, don't you do that. That's not what we're trying to do." And he says you need to use your own power, use the emotions that manifest when you stare your fear in its face. And as he says the words fear in its face, the piles of flesh and bone before you that were once Rembrandt and your parents reform, and this time they look a lot worse. They look half decomposed, and I don't want to use the word, but I'm going to use it. They look like really disgusting zombies. And they're standing before you, and they start to come towards you.
Wait, there's
Jeez,
zombies
Duggan, you
that
could
don't
do-
look disgusting?
You could do better than that, Duggan.
Yeah, give me a break, man. Oof.
But
You
yeah,
get no breaks.
I know.
Yeah, you could DM.
Yeah, they look like pretty much walking corpses coming towards you at this point.
You know what this means, right?
And
Hey,
yeah,
Rykon. Undead fortitude.
Tales of our endeavors proliferate.
Jesus Christ, that's a wake-up call.
that was real loud.
Sorry, I forgot to turn it down and switch it over to the right audio input and stuff.
Yeah, blame it on Rembrandt. He was the one that did it.
There.
No!
But even as this happens, and even as you hear... even as these living corpses are slowly moving closer and closer to you, you can still feel your manipulation of the darkness around you in effect. It's still moving. It's still pressing against you, but this time to your will.
Well, after dabbling with that, she is going to continue with it. To bring things back to the way they were.
So, tell me about Azurite's like thought process as she's doing this, as she's manipulating this magic that she has no experience with, as she's manipulating this darkness around her, as she's staring the living corpses of her loved ones into her face. What is her thought process as she tries to force it back to before this all started happening?
Well, he said to use the fear, which to her is manipulating that fear to her advantage.
I'm sorry, say that again. You cut out a tiny bit for me.
Well, Abe was saying to use the fear, and to her, using the fear is to manipulate it to her advantage.
Okay, and okay, so yeah, that's the literal meaning of it. So she's, from what I've gathered with her manipulating the darkness around her and doing that, she has taken that as literally manipulating the essence of fear.
Don't become
Sorry,
a fear
what's that?
demon. Don't become a fear demon. Don't become a fear demon.
Do it.
I'm sorry, what was that? My roommate was talking to me.
No, you're good. So
we were just saying it was becoming a fear demon.
So as you continue to do this, and as you think about just forcing this feeling of fear, forcing this magic around you back to what it once was, the living corpses before you, they suddenly stop and they crumble again, but this time they crumble into nothing. And a few moments later, the darkness around you shatters rather than dissipates, and suddenly you are back in the training room with
You
everybody
found
else
Kingdom
around.
Hearts.
But you are wielding nothing new.
Azurite would be breathing a bit heavier, considering that probably most likely was mentally taxing.
Rembrandt would try to stabilize her a bit, like offering like a shoulder to hold onto, and says to Azurite, "I'm thinking the gist of this is mainly your fears strengthen you, is what I get from what I have experienced. And if we focus on that, we could probably harness this."
So as As Rembrandt is speaking, he's actually cut off by Abe hurriedly walking over to the two of you and reaching down to basically, like, oh, wait, she was already helped up. No, he stands there looking at the two of you, and he actually looks kind of grumpy and annoyed. And he says, he points at Azurite, and he says, I can't teach you anything. You need to seek out someone else for what you need to be taught. And he
If the
leaves it at
Comcast
that.
logo is speaking to you, you need to seek professional help beyond that which I can provide. That's literally
So
a
with
line
that-
I used with a Comcast customer.
Rembrandt would.
Hello.
Why is there a weird dungeon down here?
I don't know.
Oh no,
Let's explore.
Rosalind found the dungeon.
I think I went the wrong way. It's time to double back.
Rosalind actually found the wine cellar.
Wait, never mind.
You know what we can do with all this wine? We can burn it. No, I'm kidding. We could drink.
How much wine do I find?
You find a good, like, 36 bottles.
Yo, you're sharing some of that wine with me and Kalani, right?
I'm gonna put it in a crate and I'm gonna carry it back upstairs towards the room we were resting in.
How much wine do I find?
I mean, were you kicking down random doors?
No.
Yeah, he was tagging along with me for the adventure.
Okay, yeah,
I
well,
wasn't
you
kicking
find
down the doors, though. I was just tagging.
Yeah, you find this. You find the same 36 bottles that Rosalind found.
You mean 35 bottles?
It's 36 now.
Roll persuasion to GM.
Sleight of hand?
No, you find 36.
Damn it.
Intimidate the GM.
35.
45.
I mean, why are you trying to steal one? Rosalind just took a whole crate up to the chill room.
Guy get first taste.
Yo, let's get crunk.
What's a crunk?
It does
still-
require the hookah.
I still haven't found Rembrandt and Azurite yet. But, you know, save some bottles for me, and then Rosalind's gonna disappear again.
So, as you all Rosalind and Cleek make their way back to the room with their newly found crate of wine, Abe again seems kind of grumpy about what just transpired with Azurite's waking nightmare, and
Can I interrupt him as he's like saying that
Yeah.
he can't help her? I'd be like, I mean, if I got over it, well, why can't she do it? Like, there must be something more you can do. Come on.
She has the power that she needs. I am not able to help her tap into it. And I also cannot explain it. And with that, he very quickly shoos the two of you out of the training room.
I think I would stop him from shooing us, and then I'll tell him we all manifested these weird like astral things. So why can't she do it?
Rembrandt,
She's
I believe
capable of...
before he gets to speak, Azrael will speak. I believe it's because of how I managed to do it.
Abe just nods and says, yes, yes, yes. And again, tries to, like, shoo you two out of the room.
It's like that one anime where this one kid comes along and, steals everybody's powers in combat.
Oh god.
As we shoot out, Rembrandt will just whisper to Azurite. I don't know why he has to be so grumpy about it. Or whatever.
I don't think he was expecting it.
He wasn't.
I guess we'll.
I mean, yeah, no, he wasn't.
I guess we'll rendezvous up with the group.
As Rosalind screams Rembrandt at yet another door and kicks it in.
It's the same door of that other one.
No, this time I just find the toilet.
And I'm on it.
Somehow, while you're with her?
We just fought against Dream Thing.
Anyways.
So y'all are back in the room now?
Yes.
Kato is continuing to drink wine.
Kalani's already finished his first bottle and is moving on to the second.
Oh dear.
I think-
Kill Kalani, I got 30 more.
Azurite will actually promptly take one of those.
Hey,
Hey,
that is mine.
Wait a minute. No, it's everyone's.
Ladies first.
So I get first dibs?
I think
So
Rembrandt.
there's more than one lady in the room.
I think Rembrandt would stop Kato from finishing her wine and be like, "Don't you have a trial to do?"
I perform better while intoxicated.
There's at
Yeah,
least
we'll see about that.
there's at least
Listen.
there's at least 3 ladies in this room, 4 if you include Rembrandt.
Ooh.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow.
Also, Mister, and she's gonna go and pick Rembrandt up and shake him. Don't freaking disappear on me again in a strange house with weirdos who shut doors in people's faces.
Why are you stealing wine?
I'm not stealing wine, I found it.
Why
That's the-
aren't you stealing wine?
It's the same thing. We are guests in this house. What is wrong with you people?
Hospitality winds up for grabs.
Besides, there was weird things in that dungeon.
Dungeon?
Yeah.
Dungeon.
Rosalind, don't you have a trial to finish too?
Y'all continue drinking and role playing real quick. I gotta type something out.
Woohoo, drinking!
Kato is going to go over to the crate with all of the wine bottles and just start picking bottles up.
I'm gonna slap each time she reaches for another bottle.
I'm going to
Stop
bite
it.
Rembrandt.
He's gonna keep slapping her. Like, stop. You have a trial to do.
I'm gonna try and sneak a bottle, and every time I try to sneak a bottle, I slap myself.
I attack you, Rembrandt, because no, my wine.
Oh boy.
Well, fine. Go ahead and hurt somebody who's trying to help you.
Listen, the wine is tasty. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. See if you'll pay for it later.
Kato is going to shrug and continue sipping on wine, now starting on another bottle.
Azurite will take the bottle that she took and proceed to uncork it and take about 3 large gulps of it.
Why are y'all attacking each other?
Rembrandt tried to slap the wine out of my hand.
Because alcohol is involved.
Kalani's just gonna grab another bottle and start drinking again.
Kalani finished his trials. He's a good boy. You still have trials to do.
I don't have to be sober to do my trials.
Rembrandt would hand another bottle of wine to Kalani, uncorked.
So, as you all are drinking and slapping wine out of each other's hands,
Attempting.
Garrigus, the lizard folk from before, is the next one to come into the room. And she says, "It seems Abe has decided to take leave of us for the rest of the evening. He seems rather grumpy about it too. So I'll be taking over your training from here." And Zim, I'm gonna call an intermission real quick because this is actually a good halfway point, to be honest.
Wait,
I
no
will end
intermission.
you.
We have to get a drink first.
I mean, we kind of have been at this point.
I thought you kept slapping it away from.
Alright, guys, thank you all so much for joining us so far. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Thank you for the ongoing support. Thank you to my patrons, donators, and subscribers. We really can't not do this without you guys. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Please hold on. Yes, I did. Hello, everyone. We are back. I am Razim, and we are continuing Iron Fang Dungeons and Dragons. No, we are Grout. Anyways.
So, yeah.
We are kobolds, get it right.
We left off you all sharing wine and such after Rembrandt and Azurite got back from their trials. And Garrigus had just come in and said, Abe's taking the rest of the night off. He's taking his leave of us, and I'm going to take over the rest of your training. So, I believe it's you, and as she says this, she points to Kato and Roslyn. I believe it's you two that still need to go through yours. So, come on.
I still haven't put Rembrandt down yet. I'm just like shaking him, being like, "What did you do to him?"
Oh no. So, as she sees this, she just stares with wide eyes at you for a moment, and then claps her hands rather loudly and says, "Settle yourselves. We have business to take care of."
As this is going on, Azurite will actually hold on to her head as if deep in thought.
Deep in thinking emoji. Okay. I'm gonna...
The deep tinker.
Deep funk.
Rembrandt's gonna point down, and he's gonna say, "She's very strong. It doesn't look like it, but yeah."
I'm just gonna follow the weird lady.
Did you put Rembrandt down? Or are you just following with him in your hand?
Yes.
So Garrigus shakes her head, shrugs, and just turns and heads out of the room and towards the training room.
Kato is going to follow them down the hallway.
Same.
And she's taking the wine with her.
You take your wine, I'll take my Rembrandt.
Oh boy.
Rembrandt just stops bothering fighting back anymore.
Hey, he's mine. Hands off.
Bite me.
Yum.
Does he have a bite attack?
I have a claw attack.
No, but Toby killed us.
Does that hit Rosalind? Oh, add 3 to that as well.
Wow, only one off with a 10.
Okay, I bite Rosalind. And take Rembrandt.
No.
Mine.
I am not a commodity.
Even as Garrigus hears this commotion going on behind her,
Are you a
she's still
commode?
just walking towards the training room. And eventually she gets there, swings the door open, and steps inside, and turns to the group of you with her arms crossed and a brow quirked, hoping that all of you have been able to settle yourselves and act like good adventurers? Question mark.
We're good adventurers.
Rembrandt would mouth to her in silence, "I'm sorry."
Kato is going to raise the bottle of wine to toast her and be like, "All right, I'm ready to go."
Rosalind will follow suit.
And so will Gleek. And my axe.
God damn it.
So as Kato and Rosalind step forward, Garrigus would point to Kato and say, I suppose you first. And she reaches out just as Abe had and touches her forefinger and middle finger to the center of your brow. And just like everyone else, you are suddenly engulfed in darkness.
All right, let's do this.
I move to catch her if she falls over.
No, she's just. If she was standing, then she's still standing there. Like, you all see her as if she's just standing in the room. She is enveloped in darkness. All she can see is black.
Because I was clutching the wine bottle, do I still have it in this dream state?
You don't actually.
Lame.
Oh.
Kato, this is a nightmare. What did you expect?
Listen, I have nightmares with all of my weapons, and I figured that the wine bottle would just happen to carry over, considering it was clutched in my fist.
That would be a good dream.
I mean,
I
fair.
actually had that thought process, but I was like, nah, this probably wouldn't be worth.
All right, so what do I see in this darkness?
More darkness.
Currently, you see nothing.
I'm attacking the darkness.
Oh dear. Okay, so as as
what
you
can I
start
do for you,
to
Daga?
what?
You said deer.
You said, "Oh dear," and you forgot that Zim is a deer.
God damn it.
What can I do for you?
I actually didn't know he was a deer, so I'm just gonna move on. As you start to attack this darkness, Kato, it starts to feel heavier on top of you, and it starts to press down on you more and more. And as it does this, your mind starts to feel a little off. You feel a little wobbly. You can't quite place what's going on with your mind right now, but it definitely is making you not feel so hot. And this darkness continues to press down on you.
All right, well, I'm going to pause and take a deep breath and try to steady myself. Does that do anything for me?
Yeah, kinda. The feeling in your head starts to waver just a little bit. You don't feel as wobbly anymore. You are steadied now. The pressure from the darkness is definitely still there. It's still pressing down on you as it was. But around you now, you start to see this strange cloud, and it's also dark, but this is tangible. You can feel it. It's more than just pressure. It's black standing against black, and yet somehow you can still pick it out of your background, and it starts to engulf you even more. And within this, your mind, once again, this steadiness, you're not so steady anymore. Your mind again starts to feel really off, but this time it's worse. You wobble even more. You start to lose your balance.
Okay, is there anything around me that I can like hold on to steady myself, or is there just this cloud?
It's basically just this cloud.
Okay, I'm gonna get down on kind of one knee and hold on to my head to try to just get some sort of steadiness, shake this almost like vertigo feeling.
There we go. Yeah, that was the descriptor I was looking for. Vertigo. Thank you. I couldn't think of the word. So as you kneel down like that, the feeling doesn't really dissipate at all, and within this cloud you start to hear whispers, and they're kind of recognizable. You start to recognize them from way from way long ago, like way long in your past.
And suddenly Borks.
Can I distinguish anything that they're saying, or is it just like whispers?
At first it's whispers, but then you start to hear them question things. And when I say question things, I mean questioning what's happening, questioning why they're dying. They're confused, they're scared. You can start to hear screaming.
Kato is going to call out to the darkness and to the source of these whispers. She's
Hello,
going to call
darkness,
out and
my old friend.
I'm going to smack Kalani in the face. She's going to call out to these whispers and just, hello, who's there? Can I help you? What do you need? What's going on?
You hear a faint whisper. Come, open your heart.
I roll to slap Kalani in the face.
That would be an instant nat 20 for slappage.
Oh, excellent. I love this.
You're biased.
Max damage.
So as you call out, what did you ask the cloud again?
I said, who's there? What's going on? Can I help?
As you ask, can I help, you start to hear these anguished whispers say, you weren't there, you can't help, you didn't help.
Okay, at that, Kato is gonna get pretty upset. She's gonna call out and be like, I'm here now, let me help you, I'm here now.
So the darkness that originally encompassed you and this new cloud that's making this vertigo even worse, and these whispers, they all start to close in on you more and more, and you start to feel a little crushed, and you start to recognize this vertigo feeling as something much more than just vertigo. Do you have actually roll me Arcana.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can't really... So the only thing you can really pick out from this, other than just this immense pressure in these voices pushing down on you, you can tell that this vertigo has been caused by magic, but you don't know what it is. You don't know where it's coming from. You don't know why it's happening. All you know is that it's happening, it's crushing you, and now these voices and these whispers are surrounding you and berating you with shouts of you weren't there and you didn't help.
So Kato's gonna clamp her hands over her ears to try to like block out the shouts and the screams, and she's gonna call out to the darkness, please, I'm here now, I can help you now, what can I do? Help.
Is anything happening to Kato's self on the other side?
No, she's standing there with wine bottle still in hand as if nothing is happening. And she's not saying anything either.
I'm gonna grab her hand anyway and hold it for support.
So, Kato, you can actually suddenly feel a hand. You can feel the presence of a hand holding yours.
Okay, at that, Kato is gonna kind of release her head and look up at the darkness and just kind of take a breath, and because she can feel she feels the support there, so she's gonna kind of look and try to see if she can kind of regain her composure.
So as you look up and you take that moment to regain yourself, the pressure around you does let off a little bit. The whispers get a little softer, but this vertigo is still there. It's still messing with you.
All right, she's gonna kind of shake her head and try to shake it off a little bit, and she's gonna clutch the hand that she feels like is being held. Like she's gonna kind of give a squeeze to whatever is in that hand, and try to draw strength from that. And she's gonna try to get to her.
So as you squeeze that invisible presence of a hand and you gather yourself even more and you stand to your feet, as you take that last movement to stand to your feet, a pauldron forms on your right shoulder, or whatever arm your sword arm is.
Okay, yeah, it would be my right.
Okay. So a pauldron forms on your right shoulder, and it's shimmery. It has that astral shimmery effect, and as you stand there with this newfound confidence, holding the presence of this hand from Rosalind outside of this nightmare, all of a sudden a burst of energy comes from your body, and as it bursts outwards at the very edges, little wisps of magic come up from it. There's a flame, there's a bit of ice pops up, a sudden burst of flora pops into existence and then dissipates. There's even a slight crash of lightning that comes out from the edge of this ring of energy that burst forth from you. And after all of this dissipates, so does the darkness, and you are once again standing in the training room with the shimmery pauldron on your shoulder, and after a few moments, that too dissipates from existence.
All right, well, I'm just gonna kind of blink and take a breath and take a swig of the wine and put it down, and then turn to Rosalind and kind of give her a smile, because I assume I realize that she's been holding my hand.
Yeah, she would still be holding your hand as you came to.
So I'm gonna give her hand like a gentle squeeze and just smile at her.
Rosalind will hug Kato around her midsection, because at least you're not too much taller than her.
Kato accepts the hug and hugs Rosalind back.
Oh.
Aw, so cute.
Especially with how small Kato is.
I know, we're both so tiny. It's adorable.
We're both tiny, but full of rage.
Just a little bit.
So, seeing Kato come out of her nightmare and come to, Garrigus claps her hands together in excitement and says, "Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, who is next? You, the squirrel. That's right." And she walks up to Rosalind without letting them say anything and touches her fingers to Rosalind's brow. And Rosalind is now enveloped in darkness.
She's more of a dick than the other guy.
Kato is gonna stand next to Rosalind and just kind of stay in her presence.
Rosalind will start hyperventilating because while she assumes she knows what's coming.
So, as you stand there hyperventilating, within this darkness, you can start to kind of hear the chitters and growls and snarls of something.
The howls. They took everything away from me.
What was that?
She said, the howls, they took everything away from me.
Okay, is Kalani the only one without a tragic backstory?
I think so.
Well, okay then.
I mean, it really depends on what you mean by fully tragic.
I mean, Kato's kind of had to be since she ended up being a barbarian in the woods with like no contact with like civilization.
Yeah, my backstory kind of sucked as well.
Meanwhile, Kalani's was just, just fine.
Also
Everything was
sucked.
fine.
Rosalind's backstory is absolutely horrifying, and I should be nicer to my characters, but it's not.
Yeah, Rosalind has PTSD.
So, as you continue to stand there, these growls and snarls from the darkness, they start to get louder, and from the corner of your eye, and I mean from the corner of your eye, as in if you try to turn and look at it, you won't be able to see it. You can only see it from the corner of your eye, and you see something, the shadow of something large, pass by every few moments.
Please, not again. No, 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 no.
Is Rosalind doing anything outside of the dream that Kato sees?
No, just like with Kato, Rosalind is just standing there.
Okay, well, Kato is knowing that, or assuming that Rosalind is also going through terrible nightmare things, is going to put her hand on Rosalind's shoulder.
I hate terrible nightmare things.
So Rosalind, just like K2 felt your hand, you would feel her hand on your shoulder.
Rosalind would kind of uncurl from the ball that she'd made herself into and, like, hold a hand to her shoulder. But she still won't look up fully.
So just in front of you, you didn't really notice when it came into existence, but it's there now. You can see a pile of something. They look like bodies, but you can't quite tell. And the growling and snarling starts to get a lot louder. And along with the growling and snarling, you start to hear the screams of others being attacked.
Screams.
Everyone, where are you? That's what Rosalind will shout out. I can't really raise my voice because it's nighttime here.
Kato is gonna squeeze Rosalind's shoulder.
So, Rosalind, you would feel the pressure of that squeeze on your shoulder.
Rosalind's gonna use it to take a step forward towards the pile of bodies.
So, as you step towards the pile of bodies, just at the bottom, sticking out, you see something that you recognize. And it's actually your own foot.
Come on, you gotta get up. You gotta fight. You've gotta save them. You can't stay here. You're just gonna lose them all again. I'm gonna actually try and tug at my own leg.
So, as you do this, you do feel your leg move a little bit. But before you're able to do anything else, this formless, faceless creature crawls over from the other side of this pile of bodies and bears down on you.
I'm gonna... Well, first I'll scream, and then I'll hiss, and angrily try and beat back at it with my face, my teeth, my... Well, claws. Squirrels have claws.
Today?
They have nubs?
They have claws. How do you think they, like, attach themselves to trees with the climbing and such? But as you instantly start to fight back against this formless beast, the pile of bodies that is still just in front of you, it starts to kind of quiver a little bit. It seems like something inside of theirs is moving, and you see your leg twitch again. And this beast continues to bear down on you, even as you're beating back against it.
I'm just gonna scream out with tears going down her face. You have to get up. You have to fight. You can't let this happen again. Not again. You can't let them just sacrifice themselves for you. You can't be a victim. And I'm gonna be thinking of Kato, Rembrandt, Kalani, Kleek, Shreska. As I just rip and bite back at this beast.
Oh, you
giving
do
it as good as I'm
care.
being given.
Poor Azurite. All forgotten.
So,
I mean,
you
Azurite is kind of new to the party.
Yeah, she's only been around for a couple of days.
Only a couple of days.
It has only been like a few days, like maybe 4 or 5. But at least since I took over. But so as you scream out and beat back against this thing, the pile of bodies starts to crumble away, and standing in its place is a reflection of you, beaten, bloodied, and broken. But the next time that you go back and swing to hit this beast, the reflection of you kind of melts away and shifts into your hand and becomes this astral form of a hammer. And as it collides with this creature, the darkness fades away, and you're standing in the training room, holding this astral hammer for a split second before it too dissipates.
Rosalind's gonna look surprised, breathe a bit heavily, and then just sort of sink to her knees and clutch onto Kato.
Kato is going to just gently kind of like pet Rosalind's head and just try to comfort her a little bit.
I casually hand Kato another bottle of. You're not drunk enough for this.
Kato says thank you, takes a swig of the wine, and then offers some to Rosalind.
Rosalind takes the bottle and takes a deep swig, and then sort of calms down a little bit.
I may have put something in the wine.
Kato is gonna kind of like pat Rosalind on the shoulder and just kind of turn to her. You did good. It's all okay.
I don't want to lose you guys.
We're not going anywhere. We got this. Everything's okay.
Kalani's
Sorry, my
going to.
sound cut out for a second.
Kalani's going to sigh and turn to whatever her face was. I hope you're done with us now.
But are
yes.
we done with them?
Garrigus claps her hands together and says, yes, I am done with you now. Just like before, go rest for a little bit. I'll come back to you when I've gathered my thoughts on something that I need to talk to you about.
All right, so are we back in the like the big like comfy sitting room?
Yeah, she was speaking of that chill room from before.
All right, well, Kato is going to just go relax on one of like the couches or whatever with her bottle of
wine. I'm curious. I want to try and call up my dream.
Yeah, it takes, in order to summon this weapon, you need to concentrate on your greatest fear for the equivalent of a turn in combat, which I believe is a minute or a full round.
A round is 6 seconds.
Okay.
A minute would be 10 rounds.
Yeah, my bad. So then not a minute. Like the equivalent of your turn in combat.
I mean, at least it's not like detect magic, right?
No.
I don't know if anyone gets that.
Oh, Pathfinder.
No, so detect magic is a spell, but it's also a ritual, which means you can do it without using a spell slot if you have the ritual thing, but you have to like sit there and do like a dance or something for 10 minutes.
Oh, ew.
But hey, it doesn't take a spell slot.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, so actually, while all of you are resting in this room, you do start to feel the effects of exhaustion start to come into play. Your head starts to hurt a little bit. You don't feel as balanced. You just feel really off. Herein is
Kato,
where I suggest
Kato,
that
help
you
me.
take
Just
a
slap
potion.
me to keep me.
Well, this is where we take that that special potion.
Kato is going to slap whoever it was who just asked for help staying away.
Cleek,
The bird.
the bird.
You're awake.
No, I think you knocked me out.
I think his beak fell off. It spun around like Daffy Duck.
She actually managed to twist his head 720 degrees.
I'm a road runner, not now.
No, yeah, Cleek, you don't get knocked out, but you get slapped clear backwards a couple feet, and thankfully there are a bunch of pillows in the room, so you land on those, but that initial smack to the face, you take a couple damage. And by a couple, I mean 2.
I think Kato just learned a new ability. Fusro slap.
There you go. There's my damage.
Fly.
Yeah, Kato actually can do normal damage with her claws.
God.
Hopefully, Cleek learns not to ask Kato to slap him.
I mean, harder.
Oh baby, oh baby.
Oh, God.
I mean, all things considering, you did roll low.
Is that a challenge?
But no, Azurite will move to grab one of those potions to drink.
So as soon as you drink that, the lack of balance and the kind of like at that point it was a pretty decent headache, it goes away as soon as you swallow this potion, and you also feel much more energized all of a sudden.
By the way, GM, check your DMs. Since this would have been during when they were doing their stuff.
Ah, yeah.
Are you murdering people again?
No.
No.
Rosalind's just like slumped in the corner a little bit.
Rembrandt would get up and sit near Rosalind and just not say anything. And just keep her company.
I'm gonna sit where I landed and try to relocate my jaw.
Well, at least if your jaw drops, there's cushions on the floor.
Oh, shush.
I mean, I'm pretty sure your beak just did that classy Daffy thing, whereas it just spins around his face.
So I didn't even go flying back. It was just the beak. Just
Oh no,
went
that
behind
and
me.
you went flying back.
Okay.
You got hit with a nat 20 from me. Of course you went flying back.
Cleek's beak actually became a Beyblade for about 5 minutes.
Oh god.
More like he became a Beyblade.
So you're all feeling these slight effects of exhaustion. So far, Azurite's the only one to have taken the special potion that some of you learned how to make.
And we
And
managed to
Kalani
get
will go
one for
ahead
each
and
of us.
drink one.
Rembrandt will drink one of the potions.
You did say it gave us the effect of a full rest, correct? Or a long rest, correct?
Yes.
Kato is gonna
That means
wait
I have
to
no
drink the
more wounds.
potion.
Rosalind as well is just kind of staring at it.
Okay, Kato, make note of that somehow, and make note of the fact that you have a pretty decent headache.
That's fine. I figure if we end up in combat, I'll just chug it as an action, like, or a bonus action running into combat.
The barbarian is smart.
I ain't got no injuries. I don't need to sleep. Sleep is for the weak.
What do you mean chug it? What do you mean chug it?
I mean, if we end up in combat and I have an issue because I'm tired, I'm just gonna, like, run into combat, axe in one hand, chugging the potion with the other.
I think Daga said you have to, like, sit and rest for like 3 to 4 hours when you chug that potion for it to take effect.
It's fine. It'll take effect after the combat, and I'm fully healed right now, so it doesn't.
That
Plus,
is a
I'm
very
also
fair
dumb.
point.
You know, my notes about that potion does actually say that. It does give you the effect of a long rest, but it does take, like, a couple hours to kick in.
So I'll get my long rest after combat's done.
Yeah, pretty much AKA you get a long rest without having to take an actual long rest. You just have to wait for the effects to take.
It's
Rosalind's
fine.
just gonna sigh and chug her potion.
All right.
Kato is still waiting.
Alright, so after a couple hours, a few hours, enough time to really feel the effects of those potions, Garrigus comes back to the room, and she says, I have somewhere for you all to go. And she pulls out a map. That shows Starshore and then a ruined keep called Drayden Keep. And
I felt it was appropriate.
It's always appropriate.
And she says, there's been reports about humanoid astral figures hanging out around this keep, messing with what's been said to look like a portal.
You are not prepared.
No, I think we're pretty prepared.
And she says it's about a day's travel from here. And we're not entirely sure what you're going to find. The reports we've had from our sleeper out near that way has said that he's never seen a portal like this before. And he's also never seen astral beings like the ones around the keep.
Astral beings?
Beings.
Oh, beings. I'm sorry.
Not astral beans. Jeez.
I'm sorry. I'm thinking beans like toe
Astral
beans.
beans. I have astral beans. They're kitty beans.
Beans is magic fruit. The more you eat, the more you. All right, what are we getting at?
Red kidney beans.
Oh God.
So would you say these people out there are
The
informants?
most evil of all beings.
The
What
people
was that,
who tell
Rosalind?
you the people who tell you things are informants, yeah?
Well, he's one of us.
Being
He's a sleeper.
informants?
So would you say he's a sleeper agent?
Oh my god.
But tish.
Good night, everyone.
Oh yeah. There she goes.
Oh, I'm back.
Come on, that was fantastic, and you know it.
That was so bad.
Nice. That was really good though.
I think the inspiration goes to Rosalind.
I will decide that.
No, because you can't decide where Rembrandt's bardic inspiration goes.
What was that, Rosalind? I'm sorry.
I said, technically no, because you can't decide where Rembrandt's bardic inspiration goes. That's his choice.
Yeah, that's a good point. So she says, if you all are prepared, I urge you go as soon as possible. We fear this portal might be connected to Nessarian, and if it is, we need to figure out how.
All right, let's go.
While looking at the map, would Azurite have any general knowledge of Drayden due to her
yeah,
travels?
it's a long like ruined ancient keep that is loosely known from what history remains from that long ago. It was loosely known as a place where scholars practiced strange great magics. But that's all that really survived from the history of that place.
Okay.
I can't believe you've done this. I can't believe Cleek is fucking dead.
Lies.
I can't believe it's not butter.
I'm never dead. I am always with you.
Sorry, I had to fix the fact that the bag of chips I had was unintentionally typing on my keyboard.
So can I have my hit die back?
Why?
If
Drank
you
the
took the
potion.
potion, yeah.
Yeah, the potion acts as a long rest.
Near your proficiency bonus, click on the magnifying glass and you can add it back yourself.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he can give specific long rests to people.
I mean, the potion itself acts as a long rest. It gives you the effects of a long
I'll
rest.
drink the potion.
Yeah, it's just there is a command the GM can do to give people long rests, but I don't think he can give it to specific.
Oh, that's what you meant. Oh, okay.
Oh, it is only party-wide.
Is it only the ones that are on the combat tracker?
Oh yeah, it would be. So you could just remove the ones that didn't take a long rest and just do that for the rest. Hint! Hint! Hint!
Kato is gonna chug the potion as they approach Drayden Keep.
Haha.
Yeah, so after about a day of travel by horse.
Do we not have time to buy anything or like a shop?
Nah.
No.
All right.
I'm many
Sorry.
bottles of wine does Kalani have left now?
About
If you're
5
able,
minutes worth.
if you can fully explain to me how you're able to carry them, I'll say you left with 10.
They would be wrapped up inside of his... rolled up inside of his bedroll. Which is
I mean,
then
they're
strapped
10.
to the...
They're
What about our
10
horses?
liter and a half bottles of wine.
Yeah, we also
How
have
many
horses.
bottles of wine can I tie to my axe and carry?
You know, Kato,
It's a very good question. You should probably figure that out physically.
I don't know. I'll say 2, but they have to be balanced the way that they're tied.
Perfectly balanced is all.
What if
things should
what if
be.
I wrapped them in cloth and tied more of them on there?
Like a hobo stick?
Yeah, like a hobo stick, but with wine bottles.
Then you can carry 6.
Sweet. I got 6 bottles of wine.
Alright.
But I have my 10, right?
Yes, you have your 10.
Cool.
So, as it took about a day of horse ride, and as you approach Drayden Keep, you're maybe 200 yards away, so the length of about 2 football fields. And suddenly, a voice pops into all of your heads.
Oh no.
And everybody but Rembrandt roll for perception.
Oh boy. Okay, this thing never seems to work. Oh, there it goes.
So Kato, Kalani, and Azurite, along with Rembrandt, you actually recognize this voice as the voice that told you originally to stay awake and go, and that something was coming from the very first nightmare that you had before you woke up and realized the world had been put to sleep. And this voice says, "Wait, stop, please, don't go any further. You're not ready to go there yet. Please, I need you to stay alive. Please trust me." And just as fast as it had popped into your heads, it goes away.
Kato shakes it off and ignores it.
How does everybody else react? Especially those of you who recognized it from the original voice from your first dream.
Azra's gonna be just ignoring it as well.
I think Rembrandt would have probably stopped in his tracks.
I'm gonna follow Kato. With a slap like that, I feel pretty sick.
So, so it's telling us not to keep going.
Yes.
Yep.
I guess
Maybe we
Kalani
should
will
listen
stop.
to the voice.
Rembrandt's gonna at least call out to the rest of the guys who are ignoring it and be like, I don't think that's something we need to just brush off. Because you guys might recognize it. I definitely do though.
Yes, but we won't know why it doesn't want us to go if we don't find.
Can't argue with that.
Kato's gonna turn to Rembrandt and be like, "Alright, well, you got any better ideas? Because I don't see any other way to, like, fix this without going and taking care of business."
Wasn't our original mission just to see if there is danger here? I think we probably have confirmation enough.
So as you all are talking, Rembrandt, Kalani, and Cleek, the three of you from the shrubbery that I circled there. Thank you for labeling it, whoever just wrote that. The three of you see from over here, and it's not just a single tree. It's actually like it's a big, like, kind of standalone canopy of shrubbery. It looks like a mini forest type thing. It looks kind of out of place almost. And from there, you see a slight shimmer. It's very reminiscent of all the shimmers you've seen previously since waking up in this strange sleep affected world. And from those shimmers, from that strange outcropping of mini forest, you then see the astral form of a bear start to approach.
Kato, that's all you.
Is it menacing in any way?
What was that?
Is it menacing?
It is not hostile at all. It
Yeah,
actually
it's-
looks kind of confused to see you all.
So, did somebody point the bear out to me?
I did.
Cleek, this is all you.
All right, Kato is gonna step between the party and the bear and just kind of take a defensive stance and look at it.
Go away, bear. Get out of here.
I'm gonna roll to intimidate the bear to scare it away.
Okay.
Intimidation, you
Little kitty trying to intimidate.
Little kitty roars at the bear.
Even as you roar at this bear, it kind of cocks its head to the side and gets a little closer to you and stands up on its hind legs, and it's looming over you, but it's still not looking threatening, quote unquote, in any way. It doesn't seem hostile. And
Can Rembrandt slowly approach it? Holding out his hands?
Yeah. And
gonna roll like animal handling or something?
Sorry,
Damn it.
my dog is really thirsty.
Yo, that thirst.
So is Kalani for that alcohol.
So even as all of you are apparently doing something, some of you are intimidating. Rembrandt, you are approaching this bear standing on its hind legs with arms outstretched. And as you all do this, it's just kind of standing there, looking down at all of you, very confused. And he says, I suggest you just follow me without attacking me.
Do I understand that it talks?
All of you understand it.
Kato is going to take a step back and be like, oh my god, it talked.
And again, this is an astral bear. It's not just a regular bear. It's an astral form of a bear that just
Speaking
spoke.
of these things, how is our Knoll friend doing here?
What was that?
How is
Oh
our
yeah,
Knoll
how's
friend
Knoll friend?
doing here? Is he following us?
Oh no, he was left at the mansion. He stayed there. Because Darcy was... Yeah, Darcy had pulled him away to, like...
Okay,
do
we were just
things.
trying to figure this out.
She chopped him up and served him in a stew.
What those two choose to do behind closed doors is obviously none of our business.
Oh, jeez.
I miss my Knoll friend.
So yeah, this bear just spoke to you all, and then it gets back down on all fours, and kind of like turns halfway around, gestures with a paw to follow him, and then he starts walking back towards this very strange, out of place outcropping of mini forest.
Kato drags her axe behind her and follows curiously.
And by this time, most of you would assume that this astral form, you all would connect this to what you've been told about sleepers within this world and how they are able to manipulate dream magic and they can take astral forms and such.
Woohoo! I know this.
Yeah, Rosalind, you definitely know this.
I are smart. Also, the easiest way you could have described the trees, by the way, is a trees on a roundabout. You know, if you get to like a roundabout and it's they tried to make it look nice by planting trees in the center of it. It's like a group of trees which is big enough to hold like a small ecology of animals, but nothing else.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, yeah, this astral bear spoke to you, gestured for you to follow him, and he's now heading back towards this little forest. And he disappears within it.
Kato is following, dragging her axe.
Rosalind is following too, making sure that the party is safely behind her.
Rembrandt follows. He just says when a talking bear tells you to follow, you follow.
Azrael will follow with.
Kalani will groan before following.
Thank you, everyone, for making that tree so important on the map.
That tree is actually Groot.
So, as you all follow the bear into this mini forest, as soon as you step across the line of just plain into brush, you feel as if you're stepping through a sort of slight magic force field. But that's all you feel. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't feel weird.
Fucking
It just feels like
magic.
you stepped through a magic force field. And as you step in, you see this astral bear sitting there next to the physical body of a sleeping bear. And within this mini forest, it seems as if it's almost been... the entire inside of it has been cut down and shifted and created and mangled and twisted into this bear's own little mini tree den and canopy. And as you all enter, the astral bear looks at you and says, "You've met with sleepers. I can feel it on you."
Not necessarily by choice.
Well, it seems some of you at least have been trained in some way. And he kind of like sniffs the air and then looks over to Azrael. And he gives her a long stare. And then looks back to everybody else and says, "Why have you come this way? Drayden Keep is not safe for anybody right now."
Kato is gonna shrug and be like, "Have you met me?"
"No, I haven't."
We were asked to take care of what was happening at Drayden Keep.
And I'm good at taking care of things.
"Oh, what was happening at Drayden Keep? You mean the portal?
Yes.
Then the sleepers of Starshore must have sent you."
Yeah, and?
How are they doing? Are they physical?
I would hope so, considering one slapped a door in my face.
As soon as you say that, the bear chuckles and kind of smiles and says, must have met Darcy. And he kind of seems to get a little frustrated for a moment. And he says, well, that is unfortunate, because it seems that I might be stuck like this. And the astral form of the bear, he kind of moves to try and kick his physical sleeping form that's curled up on the ground. But his big ol' stumpy astral paw just shifts right through his physical form.
Rembrandt would tell him that's probably useless. There's probably a creature nearby that's keeping you like this.
No, the basilisk has nothing to do with this. I'm
A basilisk?
Yeah, it's been basilisk so far. They've been keeping people in astral form.
Nobody said anything about
Or
a
like
basilisk.
the presence keeps those in the area asleep, basically.
But nobody said anything
Well,
about
yeah,
a basilisk.
but nobody said anything about a basilisk, and we didn't see a basilisk. There's a basilisk.
I attacked the bear.
No, the basilisk has nothing to do with this, and you won't see it. It's in hiding right now. We went toe to toe. It didn't end very well. It's in hiding. We're both in hiding, but I'm stuck like this, and I can't do very much else about that basilisk. And he kind of trails off and gets a little bit more frustrated. And he says, I'm not a bear. I don't want to be a bear anymore. And he says this kind of like to himself while now standing on his hind legs and looking down at his big old stompy paws.
Well, we can try and find where the basilisk is and take care of it.
Don't worry about the basilisk. Basilisk isn't gonna do anything right now. I'm fine being like this because it's what needs to be taken care of is that port.
All right, so
Okay.
why are you preventing us from going to the portal? Why'd you stop us?
Because none of you know, I feel the energy coming off of you from those sleepers, from those colors at Starshore. You've been taught something, but maybe you can do something about the portal. But maybe you should worry about that basilisk, and if you can dispatch that, then sure, I'll take you to the keep so we can see about that portal. And again, he kind of trails off in thought.
Like a bear.
He sits in place and says, "Think, think, think."
Kato is gonna grumble and be like, all right, well, if that's the case, then point us in the direction of this basilisk so we can take care of it.
Wait, you're so hasty.
Yeah, I
fat.
am.
Rembrandt would have been silent for most of this conversation, and during his silence, he would try to conjure up his shackles to try and show.
So yeah, they do shine into existence. And this time when they're summoned, rather than just plain shackles with a chain connecting them, they look a lot more like gauntlets now. But there still is a chain connecting the two of them. And as you do this, the bear suddenly looks to your wrists and he says, they taught you that. Then maybe you can help with this basilisk for sure, and then, yes, take care of the basilisk first, and then we can go to the keep. But first...
Yeah, they taught us all well, and Kato's also gonna summon her pauldron. And she's gonna flex a little bit as she does so.
The bear kind of waves his paw and dismissive of that for a moment, and he says, "But since you tried so hard to intimidate me before, just in case you get spooked and try to attack me thinking I'm a bear again, I'm not a bear. Please do not kill me. I am a druid that got stuck this way because I was asleep when I was a bear when this whole thing went down in the first place, so now I guess I'm stuck like this."
Rembrandt would step forward and say, "You'll have to excuse everybody's disposition to be a little hasty about this. We're technically on borrowed time, and our bodies could degrade if we don't finish this task of handling Nassarian."
You're just gonna have to bear with us.
Oh my god.
God, you would.
Okay, you're
This is
going into
un-
timeout for that.
It's unbearable.
Oh my god. And then Cleek comes with something.
I didn't say you could get out of timeout yet.
Eisen, I see your question in chat. He just fell asleep while shifted into bear form.
You know, I can't always leave.
No, don't leave.
No, he keeps being put. She keeps being put in timeout, and she keeps coming.
Stop putting her in timeout. Especially since I actually gotta call for a wrap up. I planned for a short session tonight.
Ugh.
And now has to
Don't
plan
complain.
for some unexpected things.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
I do.
All right, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining us this evening for Iron Fang Dungeons and Dragons. We will be back next week with more of this. We've got Echoes of Eberron Dungeons and Dragons tomorrow at 5 p.m. Mountain Time. That is 7 p.m. Eastern. Dude, come on back for that. I myself will be back in probably about an hour.
30 seconds. 30 seconds with more Minecraft.
No, about an hour. I do need to get food. I haven't exactly
Food is
eaten
overrated.
yet today. Don't say goodnight. We're not done yet.
Good night.
I will hurt
Good
you.
night, everybody.
I'm not gonna say anything. Good night, everyone. I love
Thank you to my patrons, donators, and subscribers. I could not do this without you guys, and I bid you all a very fond adieu.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.